website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. How do you learn to master uptempo soloing? How do you learn to do that? Well, what's the recipe out there? What is it that we teach each other of how to do that? Well, it's basically a matter of, well, if you want to learn uptempo soloing, you have to learn to solo faster, right? You have to think faster and play faster. So the licks you normally play at a low level of speed, you have to get them up faster. Or you have to learn uptempo soloing licks, right? That's what we do. Then learn enough of those, and then you can learn to master uptempo soloing. That's the recipe, and that is so full of inadequacies, because that's not what it's about. It's like saying, okay, what does it take to cook great food? Well, you have to use some recipes, right? And then you cook food, and then you do that a lot. A lick is a recipe, basically, right? It's a little piece of information you can learn over and over again to get a specific result. Just like a recipe, you do it over and over again, and then you become good at creating the result. Or do you? Or can you just make that specific kind of food, that specific dish? Because that's not what I wanted when I started out, when I wanted to develop my soloing skills. I wanted to be able to improvise great solos at any speed, with any track. And I found nowhere any description of how to actually go about building the skill to do that, other than what I just explained to you. And that didn't work for me. Maybe I'm a special kind of stupid that just can't learn from the traditional teachings out there. So I had to develop my own. I had to say, okay, how do I learn this? And I started analyzing and trying to figure out what goes on when people start soloing. And just to give you a couple of examples so you can do this yourself, so you can pick apart any skill that you want to learn and say, okay, what is that, right? Because let's start here. Let's instead of just accepting what's out there, let's try to see if we can pick this apart. So I'm just going to try. So what was that? What was going on? Was that just a fast lick? No, it wasn't. Well, and the key here is try to conceptualize this. Try to make it something that you can talk about. So what went on right there? I was basically playing the same 3 or 4 notes, right? And then I was just changing them all the time. Just right? And I was following the period of the music. So just listen to that again. Like when the chords change, it was like this kind of, right? So there's kind of a sense of timing here. And I'm using the same little thing, and I'm changing it every time with that sense of timing. So I can practice that, right? I can slow down the whole thing. I can practice using just one little lick consisting of 3 notes, and then I can practice changing that as I go along, following the time frames of the music instead of just blabbering all over the place, right? So now I have a couple of skills that I can look into and start practicing like a little method, right? Okay, cool, right? I could do the same thing, but with something else, but with other notes, and that's the key. Once you consider the notes to be the key, like in licks, right? Learn fast licks. Then you're off on the wrong track, in my perspective, right? Oh, what was that? Let's stop there. That was just a lick, Claus. What was that? Instead of just saying, oh, that was just a bunch of notes you played in a loop, what is that? Playing a bunch of notes in a loop and then ending them. What is that a concept or not? Yes, it is a concept, and you can apply that to any group of notes. So why not practice that as well? practice other things like this and saying, okay, what other little loopable entities can I create and practice over and over again? Like say if I had 20 like that, or I could combine the different 20 little loopable licks. Then I would be able to improvise these little, let me do something else. See if I can play some other, just the simple stuff. Oh, that was fun. I was just doing 3 notes there, right? It's a bit fast, okay, but you can do hammer-ons and pull-offs, or you can do, right? Whatever you can do, right? So that's another concept, and I can look into that. Because it's a concept now and not just a specific lick, I can practice it over and over again, use that, and really build my vocabulary of little loopable things I can do, because those are very, very useful over a track like this. You can go on like that. It's amazing. Let's just do one more example, shall we? Right? It's the same thing I'm doing all the time here. This is a skill. This is one skill. The notes doesn't matter. What I did here was I played a drum solo and I used very few notes to do it, right? I'm basically converting my strumming skills into a note skill. And that is so useful when you're playing over uptempo solos or uptempo tracks. So see what we're doing here? We're extracting things that we can actually practice as a separate skill. That's what you need to do with anything that you hear. Try to see if you can conceptualize it and talk about what is it apart from the notes we play. If we only see the notes, we're going to struggle for the rest of our lives trying to learn all the notes there is, all the licks, all the different things, right? But if you can go up in your chopper, look down at it and say, what's actually going on here? And how can I practice that as a skill instead of specific notes? I hope that makes sense. And I hope you'll... This can be hard in the beginning, but see if you can adopt that mindset whenever you want to learn something. I should say, and now I'm going to remember to say it in the same video instead of forgetting it and then doing another clip, that we have a new program out that focuses on taking up-tempo soloing, which was a huge challenge for me. I thought that I just had to play faster. Everything I had to play, I just had to play faster. You know, I was trying to use the traditional way of going about it. But then I broke the stuff down into 7 different specific exercises and 5-6 different lick concepts, you could call it, like I was just showing you here. And I started practicing them one after the other, over and over again. Not the specific notes, but the skill. And it absolutely removed the challenge completely. So now I think it's the most fun when you have an up-tempo song. I have no stress inside my body because I know exactly what to do with it. So I warmly recommend that you go check out that program, and you can find a link here to it in the description. So I hope that this video was useful to you, and you can go and do this yourself and use your mind in a totally different way than just adopting little licks and little bits and pieces of what other people played. So have a great time practicing. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.